arrays in C++, and we will see one example now. As you all remember, the sum of 5 numbers using different locations you will be remembering, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, we are getting all these values in A, B, C, D, E, and we are summing it and substituting, or we are assigning it into sum, like that. Okay, the same program we can do using arrays. Okay, here what you can see, continuous, not continuous, it is different 5 locations, and how we can access this with different names. Okay, so same thing we can do using the array, the concept of array. So here you can see, in this case what we have done is we have created an array. Okay, array A of 5 elements. Okay, so how we will create an array? We will put the data type, the variable name, and in square bracket we will type what the size of that array. Okay, so in this case this is similar to this thing, that is 5 different locations we needed. So here also we have done what 5 locations I have created. Okay, and how to access these array elements, just like here we are accessing the first location as A, second one as B, third one as C, etc. Here how we can access it. Okay, the first integer will be treated as A of 0, second element will be A of 1, third element will be A of 2, fourth element will be A of 3, fifth element will be A of 4. Okay, so in using the square bracket and index we can access the elements in that array. So this is the basic concept of array. Okay, and we can access it using indexing technique. Okay, hope you understood. Okay, so here we can see an array is a consecutive group of memory locations, as you have seen already. It is a set of memory. Okay, an array is a collection of similar data elements, and in this case you can see this A of 5 integers we are saving. Okay, it is of similar same type data we are storing in an array. So how we can access it we have seen already. So how in memory it is stored. Okay, if we are mentioning like int A of A in square bracket 6, we can store how many elements? 6 elements in it. Okay, so what we will do is we will access it using indexing A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, etc., A of 5. So if the size is 6, then the maximum value is what? 5. Okay, 6 minus 1, 5. And here in this case the starting value is what? Our 0. Indexing starting from 0. Okay, so how the next thing is how we are initializing an array. There are different ways of initializing an array. So in this case we are creating the array and initializing in the same time. Okay, that is known as the dynamic initialization, that we will be seeing in another session. So we can initialize the array like this. Int A of 5 is equal to 1, 8, 3, 6, 12. So here we can see the A of 0 will be what? The 1. A of 1 will be 8, A of 2 will be 3, 4 will be 6, 5 will be, A of 4 will be 12, like that we will get. Okay, so 5 elements, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the indexing. Here also we have created how many elements are in this array, double array. It is of double type, and how many elements are there? 2. Okay, so we can assign like this using the curly bracket and using a separator comma. We can create it, or we can initialize it. Okay, And in this case we can mention, we can leave the size of that array, because we are directly assigning these elements into this array. So it will be automatically initialize this array with RPI. So we can leave, if we are initializing like this, we can leave the size of that array. And here is an example how we are using it, okay, how we are initializing and how we are traversing the array. Okay, so here we can see ARR of 5 is equal to 10, 0, 20, 0, 30. So how we can access the first element? A of 0, second one A of 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's say we have an I which is ranging from 0 to 4. Okay, if you are mentioning like this, what will happen? I is initialized with 0, and whenever what happens here, 0 is less than 5. So what will happen here? ARR of 0 will be displayed. So what is ARR of 0? It is the 10. Okay, and then what happens? I is incremented, and I's value become what? The 1. Okay, now the A of 1 will be displayed. Next time A of 2 will be displayed, 3 will be displayed, 4 will be displayed, and whenever I becomes 5, what will happen here? 5 is not less than 5, so it breaks from here and finish the execution. And if we are using the array, if you are using the array of characters, there are different way of initializing an array of characters. So here if you are mentioning like this, means char str in square bracket is equal to, in double quotes, if you are mentioning like this, what will happen is str of 0 will be the C, str of 1 will be plus, str of 2 will become plus, str of 3 will become space. Like that it will be initialized. Okay, the next thing is the two-dimensional array. Here in this case, in the previous cases, we have seen only one-dimensional array of 0, 1, 2, 3, like that, contiguous elements. Okay, but here we will see the two-dimensional array. If we are mentioning like this, int a square bracket 3 square bracket 4, what will happen is this will become a 3 by 4 matrix. Okay, 3 by 4 matrix, and 3 rows and 4 columns. This is the number of rows and this is the number of columns. So here you can see, and how we access the row, the maximum value will be 3 minus 1, that is 0, 1, 2. Okay, and here how many columns? Maximum columns 0, 1, 2, 3. So here we can see row 0, column 0. So how we access the first element? A of 0, 0. Okay, and how we access this thing? A of 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. Like this we will be accessing each element. If we want to initialize these things, we have to use two for loops for this. The first for loop for changing the rows, and the second for loop for changing the columns. So here is a memory representation of two-dimensional array. Actually the first row will be treated like this, second row, third row, like that it will be. Okay, fourth row. Okay, here if you are mentioning char A of 4, 3, how many rows will be there? 4 rows will be there and 3 columns will be there. So it is stored like this, A of 0. Okay, and in A of 0 we will have different 3 locations: A of 0, 0, A of 0, 1, A of 0, 2. Okay, and in A of 1 we have A of 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2. Okay, now let's see how we passes the two-dimensional array to a function. What is the function we will see later, okay, in deep. Now you just remember how we are passing the two-dimensional array to a function. Okay, here in this case, a small introduction to functions. It is a set of statements that is given as a specific name. Okay, so we can give the input to this through the arguments. Okay, so here this double two-dimensional array I am passing to it. So here we can leave the size of this first dimension. Okay, if it is a two-dimensional array, we can leave the size of the first dimension, and it's okay if we are doing it, it's okay. So if we are giving the first dimension also, it is also okay, but we can leave the first dimension, the size of the first dimension. Now let's introduce the structures. As you can see in the previous example, here you can see this A of 5 is of same type, that is integer type. Let's say I want to create a card structure, okay, and which contains one integer, one character. Okay, so now we are going to do what? We are going to create what? We are going to create the data type, user defined data type. Okay, so here we are going to create what? User defined data type of struct card, okay, which is having two members, int, pipes, char, suit. Okay, and this will be put above the main. Okay, this is known as the structure declaration. So this part will be above the main, and that structure, the variable declaration, is inside our main. Okay, if you are mentioning like this, okay, if you are doing like this. Otherwise, you can create the variable declaration at the time of definition also, like this. Okay, and don't forget the semicolon here. In C++, the semicolon is here. Okay, in Java it is not there. So please remember, in C++, if you are creating a structure, you have to use what? Semicolon. And here you can see how we are defining it. We are using what? The struct keyword, as we mentioned earlier. Here we are using what? A struct keyword. This is an example of a structure. Let's say there is a structure student. One student will have the name, roll number, and marks. Okay, so let's say we are defining a data type student, struct student, which contains one character array, one integer, one floating point number. Okay, so how we will create it? So it's above the main, we have to create what? The struct student. Okay, and inside the main, I am going to create one student. Okay, so one student I have created here, struct student S, just like I have created int A of 5, or int A, we can create what? Our struct student S. So you can see the analogy in between. Just like int, I can use what? Struct student also. Okay, now how we can access the elements of this S? Okay, in this S we have the name, a character array is there, integer is there, floating point number also is there. Okay, how we can access each thing or each variable or each memory location inside the S? Okay, this here we are defining the structure, and here we have allocated the space for the structure student. Okay, So now using this, how we can access the name, how we can access the row, how we can access the marks. Okay, so how we can access it? Using the dot operator, we are accessing all those things. Okay, so if you want to read or if you want to get the name, the location name, how we will access it? S dot name. So here we can see cin s dot name does what? It will give the location. Okay, cin s dot name gives you what? It will give you whatever we are entering will be loaded into the name. Okay, this student S's name. Okay, and what happens here? Now we are accessing the S dot roll, the student's S's roll number, student S's marks. Okay, so here we are in this area we are doing what? We are initializing the structure elements, and here in this case we are using the same variables for displaying the name, roll number and marks of this student S. Okay, so let's do an exercise. Please do it. Just do it as an exercise. Create the array of students. Create the array of students. Each students having name, roll number and marks. Okay, so it is nothing but you have to initialize it and display it also. Okay, it is nothing but an array of this student. Okay, so how we will access it, how we will do it, you can study. Next thing we will be discussing is union. Just like the structure, we will have to study the union also. Here union is created using the union keyword. Just like the previous one, we will be doing it. Okay, only small changes there. Small changes here. Union student int id double SR number. What will happen if we have mentioned structure? There will be space for id as well as SR number. If you have mentioned struct here, it will be having one space for integer, one space for double, and we can access both at same time. We can access both. But in this case, in this union type, we can if we are doing like this, union student in double SR number, what will happen here is it will allocate a space for the student only the size of double. So at a single time I can either use this ID or we can use the SR number. Okay, at a time single time we can either use ID or SR number. So this is very important question. Structure versus union, what are the differences? We can study from here. Okay, here we can see the keyword is used as struct, and here we are using what? Union. And size, in the same thing I have mentioned before, it is size is greater than or equal to the sum of sizes of its members. But here in this case the union is equal to the size of the largest number. Okay, the union is equal to the size of the largest member. Okay, and in the case of memory, it is each member within the structure is assigned a unique storage area of location, but here the memory is shared by the individual members. Okay, and here altering the value member will not change or will not affect the other members of the structure, but here in this case it is possible that if we are altering any of the members, all the other members values will be changed. Here we can access all the individual member can be accessed at a time, but in this case only a single member can be accessed at the time. In structure, several members of structure can initialize at once, but here only the first member of union can be initialized.